All right, what is poppin', my ninjas? Welcome to 2025. Today, I'm going to be giving you guys all you need to know about dating apps in 2025, all right? How to set up your profile, how to understand the game, and the mindset behind using these things, all right? But if you're new here and you've never seen any of my videos yet, well, I just released hours of free content last month, okay, to get all my Asian brothers all up to speed with the current dating market, okay? Because look, things can get convoluted and confusing because there's so many different ideas behind dating and relationships, and you're gonna notice that some of the advice that people give, it conflicts with each other. All right, so I'm here to finally settle the score and give you guys some up-to-date information that is gonna help you, the Asian guy specifically, okay, how to level up and finally crush it in the dating market. Okay, so no more paying for courses. I'm gonna drop all the value here right now for free, and so if you guys missed any of the past live streams, I suggest you take some time and watch it on like 1.5x or whatever, get all caught up to date, because I'm not going to be doing these types of videos anymore. Okay, this is the literally the last one. Okay, because this year I'm going to be focusing on creating some more viral type content as I set up the base of my catalog, you know everything that I think all you guys should know. And I want to do some more like interesting, more high level, more creative things in this new year. Okay, so I'm gonna be live reacting to news, politics, dating dynamics, and I'm also gonna be putting out a video series called Side Quest Saturday. So you're gonna see a lot more like edited content as well from me as well, right? And it's just because I want to outline, some of the extra side stuff that I do, whether it's like making extra money or, whatever the case may be, so that you guys can get inspired and, do something with your life as well. All right. So that we can all level up together. All right. And so all I ask is you guys just interact with me, like the video, leave a comment, do whatever you please. Okay. Let's just get the interaction and the engagement going. Okay. Because one thing that we're not going to do here is we're just going to take. Okay. As a man, I always say you need to be able to give. That's the masculine. The feminine is all about taking and receiving and not giving back. So, don't be a bitch, man. Like the video. All right. Today, we're going to get into it. Okay. But before we do, I just want to remind you all that dating in general is going to be a direct result of the effort that you put into your own personal life. Okay. Let me say that again. Dating is going to be a direct result of the effort that you put into your own personal life. All right. So if you're broke, you're going to deal with the bottom of the barrel. If you're fat, you're going to be dealing with fat chicks. Okay. If you're a loser, then you're going to be dealing up with straight up weirdos and idiots that don't know any better. Okay. So you might be able to get these girls into sleeping with you, but honestly, for the long term, it ain't it. All right. So the more you guys level up your MMG, then the higher quality of women you'll be able to bring into your life. All right. So that's why I can't stress enough to watch the previous stream so you know how to level up and do the things the correct way. Okay. You can still be a work in progress while you're out there trying to date, but just know the more you do for yourself, the better quality of women that you're gonna have in your life. Okay. So another thing is like the reason why you do this is because you'll know on the inside when a woman starts acting out and giving you shit that you're not going to be able to you're not going to tolerate low value behavior from sixes at best. Okay, so you got to be able to fire her fast, and you're not trying to negotiate with these girls, all right, and try to prove your worth to her and qualify yourself to her. Okay, like if you're a man trying to level up in all these areas, you're ahead of most guys. Okay, and you don't have to prove yourself to her because like most guys are sitting at home, they're playing video games, they're watching stupid shows, they're binge drinking, they're doing drugs, and she can treat those guys like dirt if she wants to, but you, nah, you're not going to take any of that, and you're not going to be putting up with any of that in 2025. All right, but if you are one of those guys that does exactly what I just said, then you deserve all the shit that girl gives you because you haven't leveled up yet. And women know that that is low value male behavior. Okay. So when you up your game, when you up your status, you up your funds, and she still treats you like that, then you got to kick her to the curb. All right. Have an abundance mindset. So You don't put up with that garbage, okay? Someone else can have her. And it's also probably the reason why, her previous guy left her, right? So don't be all Bob the Builder out here and say that, you're going to save a hoe. Don't be a white knight, okay? Just kick her to the curb. All right. Now that we got a little bit of the mindset stuff out of the way, all right, let's talk about some practicals, all right? Like setting up your dating profile, okay? Like, I can't stress how important photos are. Like, you can't be using photos from your camera roll, okay? It's unacceptable in 2025. Like, you have to go out and take professional photos, okay? You must. Like, without a doubt, in 2025, like, you need professional photos, okay? So go and hire a photographer who knows how to edit as well, because it's not just being able to take good photos. It's about how some of the editing is done as well too. It's what makes the photos even nicer and more higher quality, if you guys know what I mean. All right, like, so what I did, look, I was a bit lucky because, like, one of my homies, he's a very talented photographer, and he knows how to take really good urban shots. He knows, like, the city in and out, and he knew how to take good portraits as well too. So he just mixed those two talents together, and then he brought me to all the best spots. And like I said, he just was extremely talented. Like, he had the eye. Okay. Now, if you don't know anyone like that, that's in arm's length of you, then you're gonna have to do some research. Okay. Like, there's already dudes who are doing it in your local area. You just have to search out either on Instagram, like search some hashtags or whatever, or you can run a Google search, okay, and do some hunting that way, or even just by asking around. I'm sure some of your friends know some good photographers, and you do need to vet that guy or that girl before. So, like, stalk their Instagram, stalk their portfolio, and do the right digging and do your due diligence on these photographers, because the last thing you want to do is pay a bunch of money and then come back with shitty photos. Okay. So once you've done all that, and once you find a good photographer, you're gonna have to plan like a whole day with that person, okay? And you're gonna have to figure out a few locations where you want to take these photos, okay? Maybe the photographer knows a couple of them already, so that kind of saves you the hassle. But I recommend trying to do everything all in one day, and you're gonna need like 3 to 4 different outfits that day, okay? 3 to 4 different outfits, 3 to 4 different locations, and you need it all lined up and have it in a schedule so that you can get this all done in one day. Okay. Look, I'll give you guys a little bit of a hack. All right. The week before you want to go take like these photos or whatever, like, go check out some different clothing stores or whatever. I went to Zara and like H&M or all these other places that have like some pretty decent clothing for guys, and I basically picked out like 3 4 outfits, and obviously I bought them all. But look, I left all the tags on, okay, while I did the shoot. So look, if you're a little tight for cash, or maybe you don't see yourself wearing some of these clothes long term, then leave the tags on and do the shoot, okay? But if you don't want to keep the clothes, obviously you can keep the clothes. But I'm just saying, like, if you're a little tight for cash, then you can do this, and basically just try not to muck up the clothes and whatnot, so that you can safely return them or whatever, right? And do a little research, check the return policy, see if you can actually get your full money back, or if they only offer store credit, because ideally you want to get all your money back. Okay. Now, photographers charge anywhere from like 500 to 1,000 for the day. So, like, look at this as, it's pretty expensive, okay? But look at this as like a one-time investment, okay? Because, like, I got some really good use out of these photos, as I still use them till this day on my dating profile, and I got them done like 5 years ago. Okay, so it's money well spent, and you want to be able to take a few different poses at each location. You want to make sure you're switching it up by smiling in a few, but also looking sort of pensive and serious in some others, because, like, you want to have a little bit of a variety. All right, mix them up, have some serious, like, modeling type poses, and then some ones that you're smiling and they're a bit candid, okay? Because, like I said, you never know how they're going to turn out, so you want a few of those shots at those locations with different poses and also whether you're smiling or not. Like you want to be able to switch them up so that you can choose the best ones that obviously are gonna do well on a dating app, let's say. Okay, and also like make sure your hand positions aren't awkward as well. Okay, it's another tip. Also, something to think about is you should take pictures that highlight your personality, okay? And obviously the things that you like to do. So let's say, you were like an Olympic swimmer or like a like you love swimming or something professionally. Like you could take photos at the pool or something like that while you're doing your thing. Or if you know, like hiking or go up to a mountain peak and take a shot. Or if you're like a nightlife guy or something like that, like you can go to a well-known restaurant or club or whatever and take a photo there. Okay? Show, don't tell. Like if you like traveling, then put up some traveling photos as opposed to saying, "Hey, I like traveling." Okay? It says it without saying it. If you guys catch my drift. All right? And another thing is like no shirtless pics unless you're either very well in shape, like you're shredded and you have visible abs, okay? If that's not the case, then don't put shirtless pics on, all right? Like don't bother. All right? If anything, it should motivate you to get some so that you can include some of those on your profile, okay? But more likely than not, you want to be just showcasing pictures with your like showcasing your personality in your pictures and who you are, okay? And another thing to really take into consideration is the background. It's very important, okay? So make sure your photographer is positioning you correctly so that they can get in good scenic photos of you in the background, because like most women when they look at your photos, they're like looking at the surroundings before they even look at your face or your body, okay? And like I got pretty lucky. I live in BC, so there's some really like scenic spots here in Vancouver, and they're definitely mesmerizing on its own, like even without you in the photo. So if you can hook them in with those types of shots, then you're definitely doing it right. Because yeah, like I said, if you have some like just some jaw dropping like scenic photos in the background or whatever, like those can really draw someone in, okay, to take a closer look at your profile. But discuss these things with your photographer, obviously, okay? Now you're probably thinking like, why the hell do I need to take professional photos? Look, if you want to do well on dating apps or just dating in general, like you're going to need them, okay? Because your competition, who's absolutely crushing it out there, they have them, okay? So if you want to be able to stand out, then you definitely need them, okay? Like you could try doing it with just your camera roll and stuff like that, but like don't cry to me or cry after the fact and blame the apps that it's not working because you have ugly ass pictures, all right? Look, you're only as good as your worst photo, and you will always be judged by your worst photos, okay? So if you're using mirror selfies, the lighting is terrible, then that's what she's going to go with. And honestly, that's not a good first impression. All right. And that's the most important thing on dating apps is like you want to leave a good first impression. All right. So lead with your best foot forward in that sense. Okay. Also, no group photos. Okay. Just save those for your social media. Don't put any group photos on your dating profile. All right. Now, with that being said, now that we've got the photos kind of taken care of, you're going to have to create a witty bio. Okay. Something that explains what you do, what you're looking for, and obviously something funny to create an emotional response out of her. Okay. Like think of every great Instagram reel out there or TikTok. Okay. Like there's a hook, there's a story, and there's an offer. You want to hook them in with, let's say, a funny one liner. Let's say you're going to explain what you're about. And then you want them to get like an emotional or some visceral response out of them to get them to take action, which is either to like swipe right on you or respond, because like you're going to be doing most of the initiating. So like let's just say you initiate the convo and then she looks at your profile. You want something on your profile to get her to be like, I'm going to respond to this guy. Okay. Now, especially with your bio, like you can't sound boring. You can't sound like every other guy out there. Okay. You have to stand out and be unique. Okay. And I'm not going to tell you what you're going to write in your bio, because it's just, I can't think of generic things, and everyone's personalities are so dynamic that my generic stuff is not going to suit you. Okay, so you need to do some digging yourself, and maybe to get some inspiration, you can go and set your profile to a woman or like as a gay dude or whatever, and just scroll through some of these guys' profiles, okay? And see what the other competition is doing, okay? This is going to give you some good ideas on like what to write, but also what not to write. Okay, as you'll see, most guys aren't really that creative, and you know, they're also writing very similar things, okay? Um that's so that's for mostly like Bumble and Tinder, but on Hinge, you don't really need a bio. Okay, because on Hinge it's a little bit different. It's a bit of a different strategy on there, as there's a thing called prompts, and then you know you have to kind of get creative with your prompts and write funny things in there to garner a reaction from the type of woman that you're trying to attract, obviously. All right, so like let's say you're into conspiracy theories or whatever, then a prompt you can use is like, choose a conspiracy and tell me which rabbit hole you're in so I can come find you. Or if you like women who are like active, let's say, that work out and they're always in the gym, let's say, you can say things like, let's make sure we never miss a Sunday morning workout or something. Or, swipe right if you also hate dry scooping pre-workout or whatever. Okay. Like these are obviously pretty basic, but it should get your creative juices flowing. And like the key is to be original. Okay. These are things that obviously I just thought off the top of my head. And, asking questions is also a good thing. So, like, a prompt could be like, how do you spend a typical weekend or something like that, all right? But it's important to highlight the humor more than anything, right? Like just putting out a basic question like that might not induce her to get like, I don't know, it won't get her to respond, okay? And so what they always say, right? Like you can definitely laugh a girl's pants off, and this works for guys who are like, generally unconventionally attractive, okay? So humor is better. So that's pretty much the strategy when it comes to these things, okay? Like I would say just use Tinder, Bumble, and Hinge, and then maybe add in some Facebook dating as well, okay? Um, Now, another thing is you can use the free version of these apps, which means you have to spend at least 10 minutes a day on each app. So if you have 3 apps, let's say, then that's about half an hour that you need to dedicate to basically swiping, writing openings, and then also chatting to the girls who respond, right? Like it takes up a lot of time. That's why I always recommend paying for the apps, because there's different benefits and advantages by paying. Okay, so Tinder, you can change your location, you can go to like other cities and countries. Maybe you're traveling, using it for traveling or whatnot, so that's also a benefit. You can send super swipes, and it also helps show your profile to more girls, okay? Because we all know that there's more guys on dating apps than there are girls, so it's better to have your profile shown first so that she can actually see you, as opposed to like, because most girls don't really spend that much time on dating apps, all right? So you want your profile to kind of be shown at the forefront if you can. Same with Bumble, you can highlight your photos, as well as like you unlock this thing called compliments, which is just a way to message the girls as opposed to, just swiping on them. Because like you'll always get a better shot at, you know, a response if you're actually writing something as opposed to just swiping right or, liking a photo. So yeah, you always want to be able to initiate a conversation if you can. All right. So for Hinge, you can also push your profile, like the paid version. You can also push your profile to get more views from girls, as well as a thing called sending roses, right? Because let's say a girl is using the free version or whatnot, she's gonna get multiple likes from 50 million guys, okay? And like if you like her photo or you say something, your profile is just gonna get pushed down all the way to the bottom. But if you send roses, they're gonna put those likes at the top for her, so it'll stay up at the top, regardless if like 50 guys like her profile. Yours is gonna get shown first, if that makes any sense. Okay, so getting seen first is definitely a huge advantage when it comes to dating apps. Okay, so it's up to you how you want to use the app, but I always recommend paying. Like I said, you get just more benefits and advantages to that. So yeah, let's see here. All right, so we talked about photos, bios, the strategy behind each app. Now I'll just finish off with some mindset stuff when it comes to how you use these apps to get dates and stuff like that. All right. So ideally, you want to escalate the convos as fast as possible to get her off the app, okay? And you're basically, the whole goal is to try to get her phone number or her Instagram or something like that, okay? The reason why you want to take them off the apps is because she's having millions of threads open with guys on that app. You want to stand out and be special. And obviously, like, women love it when you take initiative. So getting her number or her social media is definitely a step above the rest, okay? And you always want to be doing what the competition isn't doing, okay? And also, like, depending on what your social media presence is, like for example, like, let's just say you barely use it and you don't have any good photos on there, or you post only food and your dog or whatever, then ideally you don't want to be going for her IG. You just want to get her phone number, okay? Because honestly speaking, like not only do you want to optimize your dating profile, but you want to optimize your social media profile as well, okay? Because ideally you want to be funneling every woman that you meet, whether it's cold approach, social circle game, dating apps, warm approach, networking, or wherever you're meeting these girls. Like, you want to put them all on your IG, okay? You want to funnel them all onto your IG, because keeping multiple threads open on one platform is a lot easier. And also, it's much easier to reignite a dead chat with some memes or some shareable content on Instagram, let's say, that basically reminds you of her. So, like, let's say you say you say something dumb or whatever, and she doesn't respond or she ghosts you. You can send something to her and say, "Oh, this made me think of you today," or "This made me think of you," and then send the meme, right? If she goes a second or third time, then okay, you obviously, you just have to get rid of that chat, because sometimes you know no matter what you do, she already got the ick, so she just doesn't want to go out on a date with you, and that's fine. Okay, like, you can, but sometimes you have to send that double text or that triple text sometimes, because maybe she's a baddie, maybe she is really inundated with a lot of guys hitting her up and stuff like that. But, like, if you really want to go on a date with this girl, sometimes you have to put in a little bit of an effort, sending like a double or triple text, okay? Like, don't listen to anybody else and saying, "Oh yeah, never send a double text or never send a triple text." Like, at the beginning it's fine, but if she's obviously, like, showing low interest or whatever, or she ghosts you, then okay, obviously then it's better to move on. Okay, but at the beginning, and you guys haven't even met yet, like, it's okay to send her a double text or a triple text. All right, just get her thinking about you again. And the thing about IG is that it's easy to set plans on there. So, like, for example, like, let's say you're wanting to check out some specific restaurant or something like that. Like, you can send her the IG info of that restaurant, like, in that chat. So, number one, she has it, and then also she can take a look at, like, the food there, and she can have a bit of an idea of what to expect, so she doesn't take like a million years trying to order something or whatever. Like, she can obviously do some of the research herself as well. And another thing about why IG is just a really good place to message girls, is because, like, you can DHV, which stands for demonstrate high value. Okay, like, maybe you put up a nice photo of your nice sports car or something like that, or you have like a really pop-in social life or whatever, or you have some traveling photos that you post on IG, then she can get a better gauge of who you are, because she's obviously going to creep your IG, right? Because some of those pics, you just can't put them into your dating profile. And so it gives her a better understanding of who you are, and whether or not she's actually interested in you, and then obviously the type of lifestyle that you're going to offer her. Okay. And the purpose of spinning plates, which means, talking to multiple women at once, it's to figure out which of these girls are low interest, they're flaky, the dinner diggers or whatever, and the girls who are just like wasting your time, okay, versus the chicks who are high interest and actually want to go out on a date with you, okay? That's the purpose of spinning plates. And ideally, you should always have multiple threads open with as many girls as you possibly can. And because eventually some are gonna fall off, and like there definitely will, obviously. Like, they're just, some girls just, they have so many options that they're eventually gonna fall off. All right. And that way, when you're spinning multiple plates, you have other women that you can take out for dates. You'll always have this funnel that's kind of like never ending or whatever, right? I did a stream last year about how to set up your dating funnel, actually. So if you guys wanted to revisit that, you can. and get a better understanding of like what I'm talking about here. But like if your IG is optimized, like again, you can be using this as a dating app as well, right? Because a lot of people consider IG as a dating app because I mean, some of the girls who wouldn't be caught dead using a dating app, they're gonna be on IG, okay? And you know, you can filter by location, by checking geotags or hashtags or whatever. You can look up women in your local area, checking to see who their friends are, and then you can spark up a convo the same way that you would in real life or either on a dating app, okay? And approaching on IG is way easier because not only can you unsend the message after if she doesn't respond, but you can hit up way more people on there. Okay, it just creates this never-ending funnel. Okay, for yourself. Um, and so the online approach game, like including dating apps or whatever, IG cold DMs, right? This should really only be a small fraction of how you're meeting women. Okay, like don't make this the focus of everything. Okay, it's basically just a supplement to your already busy social life. Okay, like you should be looking at it maybe like 20 to 30% of all the women that you meet should really only be online. Okay, like ideally you want to be meeting majority of women in real life. Okay, whether it's through networking or social circle game or cold approach or whatever, like you want to be doing most of the sourcing in real life. Okay, and the key to having an abundant dating life is you need to always be sourcing. ABS, all right, not anti-lock braking system. Always be sourcing. Okay, it should never take a break. You don't want to hit those dry spells because those could get nasty. Trust me, I've been in those. It's not where you want to be. You can get really rusty with these women and shit. Okay, so definitely stay sharp by ABS. All right, spin plates and make sure you're constantly leveling up on the side. And another thing is don't let anyone know your next move. Okay, just go and do it. All right, tell them after or let them see the results after the fact. All right, ninjas, that's the last stream of this mini series that I was doing. And I was supposed to have this out before the new year so, I can focus on other things. But hey, whatever. Things happen. Not going to harp on myself for it. It is what it is. So just make sure to get caught up with pretty much everything that I put out there. And yeah, just hold on for the ride, man, because this journey is about to get crazy. Like I said, I'm going to be doing some different type of content on here. So you'll see. Just stay tuned as I try to grow this thing. Like the video on the way out. Get caught up with all the past streams I did. And I want to see you banging some bad bitches this year, all right? Like, but more importantly, okay, I want to see you guys leveling up your finances, leveling up your physique, and all that, all right? Like, be a well-rounded dude, okay? In order to get something new, you're gonna have to do something different. So you ninjas better be switching it up, all right, and get locked in, all right? Extreme focus is the mantra, all right? This year, extreme focus, okay? So don't give up. And I'm not going to be back here same time as I'm going to be putting up a little bit more edited content. And I'll probably only live stream maybe once or twice a week just for the algo purposes. And then we'll see how this new schedule works out. I don't want to burn out like I did last time, right? Because whoever said content creation is easy needs to be shot. Because this game, especially if you're starting now, it's a lot harder than it was before, right? Because everyone's creating content, right? Everyone's competing to get your attention. So in order to compete, you need to be doing more than everybody else, all right? And the top of the top content creators right now, like they're doing this shit all day, every day, all right? Some of them don't even sleep. So yeah, I obviously don't want to fall behind either. So anyways, just make sure you guys sub up. I'll see you guys when I see you. All right, Rob Bass signing off. Peace out, ninjas.